We're talking Insurrection 2.0, and I'm joined by political strategist Che Komanduri, a veteran of several presidential campaigns, including Obama. How you doing, sir? Thanks for being here.
I'm good. How are you, Ari?
I'm good, Che. When this backlash to the January 6th horror first began, there were some Republican officials who decried it. Then they, as everyone has seen, came back around and ate their words and have made peace with the violent protesters. You at the time said that that made the GOP under that leadership a riot-adjacent party, which is an interesting point and I think proved true for many of them. And yet, what do you see as the reasoning behind these officials who are now avoiding this new rally?
Yeah, it doesn't feel to me that the GOP is the riot-adjacent party anymore. It feels to me like they are the party of the riot on January 6th. And that is something that Donald Trump has very much done. He has very much moved the party in the direction of being the party of January 6th. And the September 18th rally, quite frankly, feels to me like coming attractions for what we're going to see probably with future Trump rallies and maybe a future Trump campaign. This is the direction that Donald Trump wants to go. He wants us to be the party of January 6th. He also wants to move the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, who were fringe figures in the GOP. I remember when we were all shocked when these sorts of people showed up at Trump rallies. Well, now they're organizing Trump rallies, essentially. And if you look at the email that Donald Trump sent, I believe it was yesterday, condemning the removal of the Robert E. Lee statue in Richmond, Virginia, these white nationalist causes have now become GOP causes. And what was really an informal relationship, a secret relationship, a private relationship, is now just all out in the open for everyone to see.
Yeah, I mean, you're certainly right about that. I mean, you used to have, the dancing around Republican candidates going to Jerry Falwell or a nod and wink. And here, as you say, it's openly embraced. But let me press you a little bit on the one part that doesn't totally align, which is why wouldn't a Marjorie Taylor Greene go to this thing? I mean, we'll see what happens on the 18th. But as I reported right now, there seem to be keeping some kind of distance.
Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene is not going because Kevin McCarthy has simply told her she cannot go. I very much doubt that if it wasn't for Kevin McCarthy, Mitch McConnell, some of the Republican leadership, I'm sure that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz would have been happy to attend this rally. After all, the rally is simply saying what they've been saying for the past several months. The thing is that Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell, they had an idea of how January 6th, the January 6th Commission and the history of January 6th was going to go. They believed that by not participating with this commission, they would simply be able to say this is a partisan witch hunt, and then it would just simply fade away and not attract any interest. Most swing voters do not like partisanship, hence, the importance of this bipartisan infrastructure deal. So they thought they could just simply brandish this as a partisan witch hunt and it would go away. What they didn't realize is they underestimated Nancy Pelosi. By putting Adam Kinzinger on the commission and then putting Liz Cheney, who belongs to a Republican family that is so iconic that Adam McKay made a movie about how right-wing and conservative her parents were. By putting them on the commission, she blew up that talking point. And so what they have now is a situation that they cannot control. What they thought they were going to do by not cooperating with the commission was that they were closing the door on the riot. What has now actually happened is that they have opened the door on and the rioters have come in and they're redesigning the House.
Yeah, I think you break that down well. It's interesting that you say, they're having it both ways. They say, oh, well, we don't show up there, but then they can voice public support. That's a very McConnell-esque move. I'm running out of time, and my last question is the shortest and a little more baroque, which is we also don't know whether Pepe, the frog, will show up. I don't know if you've heard one way or the other.
I'm sure you're going to see caricatures of Pepe the Frog. I actually have a very great fondness for frogs, to be honest with you. Just between you and me, I used to have a pet frog that I was very enamored of.
Oh, didn't know that.
And to see this now become a white national symbol, the frog as an animal deserves better.
Shout out to your pet frog and all pet frogs out there. Frogs are great creatures. For those who aren't as versed in the sort of right-wing Reddit QAnon zone, there's this Trump MAGA Pepe troll frog. He's quite evil. And for me, on a much more mundane level, Che, it kind of ruins the frog emoji. Because if you're texting with anyone political, it feels like the right wing weirdo frog and not just a neutral frog. And, we believe in neutral nonpartisanship around here. Che, I didn't know it would end like this, but it did, and I appreciate. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Frogger, the video game, the great 80s video game, is now never the same because of what the white nationalists have done.
I hadn't even thought about that. Well, we always go a little further. Che Komanduri, as always, thank you for being here. Slightly light internet note among serious topics.